So just how important will Obamacare be in the 2014 midterm elections? Well, based on the money already being spent on TV ads, it looks like the answer is very. Last week, the Nancy Pelosi-supported House Majority PAC entered the fray, coming to the defense of Arizona Congresswoman Ann Kirkpatrick, who has been attacked by conservative groups for her Obamacare support. Take a look.
It's here, in small towns and wide open spaces, that Ann Kirkpatrick listens and learns. It's why she blew the whistle on the disastrous healthcare website, calling it stunning ineptitude, and worked to fix it. She fought to hold insurance companies accountable so they can't deny coverage for pre-existing conditions or drop coverage when you get sick. Ann Kirkpatrick, seeing what's wrong, doing what's right.
We're back with Dan Henninger and Jason Riley, and Wall Street Journal Potomac Watch columnist Kim Strassel also joins the panel. So, Kim, what's behind this Democratic strategy, which is not running on Obamacare, but is really half running against it while picking a couple of small points about the law, which she doesn't really identify as part of the law as something she supports?
Right. I mean, this is an immensely important ad because it does lay out this strategy in particular for vulnerable Democrats going into this election. And that is this, to pick out, as you said, a couple of things that polls suggest Americans are still appreciate about the law, like pre-existing conditions, or you can't lose your health care once you have it. But then to just unleash the hammer on the Obama administration's handling of the website. And the idea here is to put a little bit of distance between a law that they actually voted for, but also, again, to kind of leave the impression that the real problem here is just that the rollout of this didn't work, and that therefore, in fact, these Democrats should be praised for their oversight of it and making sure that the law works going forward.
Well, is that going to be credible, particularly in some of these red states, Kim? I mean, where, you know, Arizona went for Mitt Romney. It's not a conservative, it's not a liberal state. Is that going to fly?
Well, here's the problem, is that they've been using this ad very vividly puts out the strategy, but they've been using an element of this for several months now. And the problem is it kind of misses the point. You know, what Americans are most frustrated about, the website rollout was a problem, but their concern is over the fact that they're losing their doctors, that their prices have gone up monumentally, right, that they've lost their health care, and none of these ads or this defense in any way answers those problems.
All right, let's go and take a look at the Republican response from the Republican Congressional Campaign Committee, their ad response.
She blew the whistle on the disastrous healthcare website.
Time out. The Republic said Ann Kirkpatrick refused to criticize Obama's website for weeks, hardly blowing the whistle. And just days ago, Kirkpatrick voted against a bipartisan bill to help fix the healthcare website. Still loyal to Obamacare, not us. Ann Kirkpatrick, she caused the problem, she is the problem.
Jason, well, we can get a sense there, just a little bit, of what the strategy will be, and it's going to be run right at Obamacare. Is that an effective reply?
I think so. I mean, the Fox News has a new poll out that says 59% of people now oppose the health care law, up from 55% 6 months ago. And that increase is being driven by Democrats and by independent voters.
30% of Democrats in that poll oppose it. 30% of Democrats and 64% of independents, which is 2 to 1.
So Democrats are desperate here. I think they feel they have to put some space in between themselves and this law. One interesting distinction between the Kirkpatrick ad and the one we just saw is that the Kirkpatrick narrator never says the words Obamacare or Affordable Care Act, but is very prominently displayed Obamacare in the response. So you can see it's as if the Democrats want to defend the more popular aspects of the law without ever even mentioning it by name.
But here's the strategy. Inoculate yourself, try to neutralize Obamacare, and then change the subject, and you'll see them running on minimum wage, income inequality, and unemployment benefits, those sorts of economic issues.
But, you know, that's interesting, Paul, because I don't think minimum wage and income inequality really have resonance with the general population. They're kind of Democratic niche issues. The problem with Obamacare is it runs right to the substance and heart of the Democratic Party. The idea that the public sector government can supply a great public good. wonderful health care. It's turned out to be a nightmare. This is something that touches everybody. They run the danger here of literally losing the white suburban middle class in America. That's what this Arizona vote is all about. And so they're running against the glitch. The problem is the substance of the law, as Kim has been suggesting.
But Kim, is there a danger for the Republicans that they're running against this too early, in the sense that, you know, as more people get coverage during the year and the price increases and the sticker shock and everything kind of wears off, that this is not going to be as salient an issue come the autumn?
I think the Republican bet, and based on what we've seen so far, Paul, it's probably a pretty good one, is that this law is a rolling catastrophe and that plenty more is going to be coming up as we go along. I would be more concerned were I were at the White House, because we are, in fact, early in this election season. And if this is the best the Democrats have right now, and the pressure does increase, they ought to be concerned about whether or not Democrats feel as though they have to go further. You've already had some Democrats voting with Republicans, for instance, to delay some aspects of the law. Does that pressure increase going forward? Do they feel the need to distance themselves even further?
All right, we will be watching. We have to take one more break. When we come back, hits and misses of the week.